What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of KozMatt's Wrestling Recap. Let's get right into the first edition of Friday Night SmackDown of the new year, and it certainly delivered with a good action-packed night filled with a bunch of good matches. What do you think of the show, Matthew?
Oh, dude, it delivered for sure. Absolutely. Everything from the creative point to just matches, just everything was on point. Honestly, this I'm not gonna say this is the best SmackDown that they've had. There have been way more entertaining SmackDowns, but this one, it just made sense with the winners, the losers. It just made sense with everything. It just flowed very well. The way they opened the show, I was actually surprised, but also not, with Roman Reigns appearing at the top of the show, taken to the squared circle with, of course, the Bloodline, Sami Zayn, Jay, Jimmy, and of course Paul Heyman. So the reason for this is Reigns, kind of just hyping up. We're here. You know what? I mean, even though they took an L last week, they're here. They're still the best tag team. They're still the best team in WWE. We're still strong looking. Reigns this is where the peak starts to turn, and this is where we're slowly starting to see the cracks, I think, of not just the bloodline, but Roman Reigns. So Reigns turns the floor over to Sami Zayn, giving Sami the opportunity to speak, questioning why Zayn would do something like guaranteeing a victory last week, and which that did not happen as they took an L. Sami Zayn really taking the L. Roman Reigns losing for the first time since he's been undisputed champion, not just a singles match, but a tag team match. Roman Reigns has not taken an L in all of this 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 whatever days.
Yeah, I think we're
Just
coming up
failing
on
to deliver.
900.
Basically, he was berating Sami Zayn, and Owens actually interrupted, and with Owens interrupting, this just made everything so much better. He actually challenges Roman to a match at the Royal Rumble for the WWE Universal Championship. Roman didn't seem too fazed by that, but he accepted, but he just was staring dagger straight through Sami Zayn. He just didn't care. He's just slowly cracking. He's cracking down, man. And you know what? This is going to be very interesting. Roman Reigns seems a little bit paranoid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you have a 900-day title reign almost, I could see why you'd be paranoid losing your championship finally because
Hmm.
we know Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have that past, and could we see if Sami keeps taking these beatings verbally from Roman Reigns, could we see Sami turn on him and help his good old buddy Kevin Owens? What is
Possibly, but that's going to be a story for another day. It's going to be certainly interesting to see if that's actually something they would do. But let's move forward. Kofi Kingston versus Santos Escobar, half of Legado del Fantasma. The way that this match was, it wasn't anything crazy, but you know what? It was something to get Legado del Fantasma back, on top. Um, a quick comeback by Kofi Kingston, and interference from Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde, neutralizing Xavier Woods at ringside. Of course, Xavier Woods chanted from ringside for his fellow tag team partner, actually allowing Zelina Vega to provide a distraction, allowing Santos Escobar to deliver a phantom driver for the pinfall victory. Now, the reason I was excited with this, not just this match, but the outcome. Legado del Fantasma, they got to win, number one, and they didn't look too weak doing it, even though, Zelina Vega, that's what she is. She's there to provide distractions. She's like a Miz, not lie, cheat, and steal, man, like Eddie Guerrero. But
oh boy.
the way that they did this was phenomenal. Of course, the New Day, them taking a win, like cool, but they didn't need to. It was kind of their time to push Legado del Fantasma up even higher because they're in NXT right now and they're killing it in NXT. And why bury Legado del Fantasma, a team that is pretty still new to the SmackDown roster, and a team that can really make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. I think this was a great booking decision. Get
Mm.
Legado del Fantasma up in the ranks, have them beat some established tag teams on SmackDown, and eventually have them challenge for those tag team championships. I love it all the way around.
Yeah. Absolutely. So let's talk about a tag team match next. Karen Cross and Scarlett taking on Madcap Moss and Emma. This was actually certainly something interesting. I think with Karen Cross, I don't think that it's not they don't know what to do with him. I think they're kind of just trying to figure out, okay, who's next? Who's next for Karen Cross? And I'm talking about more so a singles match. And I think they're slowly trying to figure that out, but there's nothing wrong with what they did here with the tag team match. It's not like I would see Emma and Madcap Moss take a W, which we didn't see, of course. It just was interesting to see this, and honestly, the crosshammer and the cross jacket submission on Moss, of course, that's what's gonna finish him off. But it was interesting to see Scarlett in a match, and you know what? It certainly they both certainly did deliver, both women.
Yeah, I think it really was quite interesting to see her. I think it was some of her first in-ring action
Mm.
on live TV. I know she's had a few live event performances in the ring, but I thought she really held her own. And I love how at the end of the match, Karrion Kross was beating up someone in a luchador mask, sending a message to Rey Mysterio. So I thought it was a great booking decision to do
Yes.
that feud.
Yes, Kieran Cross held Moss while Scarlett put a Rey Mysterio mask on him and just kept beating them. Yes, sending that message to Rey Mysterio. His time is running out, so this is certainly something of interest that's coming between those two. Now, before we get into our next promo of Charlotte Flair, let's talk about LA Knight quickly cutting a quick promo on his Mountain Dew Pitch Black match against Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. I'm still not sure exactly what this is, but LA Knight saying he's basically done with the shenanigans. He's there to end it all. But what exactly is this? Is this Pitch Black match at the Royal Rumble? What exactly is this? We don't know quite yet. Hopefully more abrupts, or else it's just going to be something we just hear about, and we're not going to know till the actual match in the bell rings.
Yeah, dude, one thing's for sure. What's that saying? It's time to put up or shut up. And LA Knight is certainly
Mm.
ready to fight Bray Wyatt and whoever else he might come with.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about a new fight. Let's talk about Charlotte Flair cutting a promo inside the ring. Actually including a promise, never to become, I guess you could say, complacent as the Queen of Spades. Sorry, the Queen was interrupted, not the Queen of Spades. Man, woo, I got too much going on with Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, which we'll get to in another video. But Ronda Rousey and Shayna, Ronda's just not having it with Charlotte Flair. She wants to do something with the tag team titles. It's just all a little bit chaotic. But Ronda Rousey, man, she's kind of done with the singles run. It looks like she's going to a tag team run with Shayna Baszler, which they've been doing, but hopefully it's a little more serious now. Charlotte Flair, the Queen, was actually interrupted by Sonya Deville. A little exchange, an impromptu match with the title on the line. What
Oh
do
my
you
God, did
know,
we get a
man?
new champion?
Oh, did we get a new champion? No, but
Absolutely not.
figure eight successful title defense. What do you think? Nobody came out to help Deville or anything like that, tapping her out. What do you expect? Come on.
Come on, I was really hoping. I know Sonya's a great wrestler.
Poor
Great
Sonya Deville.
wrestler.
I kind of wish they just kept it as just a promo. Maybe save it for another night, but why make Sonya look weak like that? But you know what? At least it wasn't somebody else, Sonya Deville, she's still she's still got some time to prove her worth. So a Royal Rumble qualifying match, Ricochet versus Top Dollar, automatically out of the books. I know who I'm going to pick, who I want to win this match, and that's Ricochet. And that's
Absolutely.
exactly what we saw. Shooting star press, Ricochet cashing his ticket to the Royal Rumble. Actually, a post-match beatdown by Hit Row gave way to a save from Braun Strowman for Ricochet. So this was certainly interesting, a nice way to have Braun Strowman incorporated in the show, especially not having a match or any feud going on right now.
Absolutely. You know what? And maybe this new heel turn for Top Dollar and Hit Row could enhance them on SmackDown. I kind of feel like they're getting lost in the fold a little bit, so maybe this will bring them around and make them the next top heel tag team on SmackDown.
Mm. Absolutely. Now, what we want to talk about next, before we actually get to our main event, backstage, Roman Reigns refused Zayn's apology as Sami Zayn earlier in the show before we headed to a break for this match. He actually wanted Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns told Paul Heyman to get him Sami Zayn. Zayn tries to apologize about just everything that's kind of been going on. Roman just wasn't really having it. Kind of seemed manipulative and proved to be as verbal exchange between the two. A verbal exchange between the two actually ended with Sami Zayn. I think he was booked for a match with Kevin Owens next week, which was confirmed. So that's interesting. I'm super stoked to see that. I know it's certainly going to be a turn in the Bloodline story, and hopefully this is where the cracks slowly start to fade, or they could be swerving us big time, man. But I don't know.
Yeah, dude, one thing's for sure. I love how they're booking the Bloodline. It's not getting stale at all. They keep adding new phases, new things to the storyline. And one thing's for sure, we're gonna see a great match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn next week.
Before we talk about our main event, let's just talk about a great match overall, right? So you say Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to have a great match next week. Let's talk about the tag team titles on the line. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus versus the Usos. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal tag team match. The
I
Usos
wouldn't mind seeing them run this back at all.
They just sought to continue their historic reign. Did we see that? Did we see that against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus? Man, I could see them fight forever. So Sheamus and Drew McIntyre kind of rolled in late the match. The Usos had the upper hand, appearing to have them just kind of reeling, trying to reeling them in to lose those titles. But the Usos, they didn't give up, man. A late interference from Solo Sikoa took McIntyre out of action, forcing Sheamus to go it alone for a few final moments of the match. Jey Uso rolled him up to score the win and retain the titles with help from Jimmy Uso, helping put the his foot back on Jey's back. Ref didn't see it, helped secure more of a harder pinfall to get out of. But this was just a phenomenal matchup. Drew McIntyre, a tope suicida from him. There were times where I really thought the Bloodline were going to lose, but that wasn't the case. There were many times actually, and this crowd was on their feet. And then we cut to Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn backstage. Hilarious with Roman Reigns just kind of he looked a little teed off with Sami Zayn. They were all eating popcorn, watching the show like kids. Sami Zayn was throwing the popcorn everywhere with Usos taking the W. But just producing bangers and bangers, man.
Yeah, man, that was a great match. It really was. Great comedic segment between Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn backstage.
Mm.
These two teams are just absolutely phenomenal. The athleticism in the ring was just absolutely incredible. I wouldn't mind seeing them run this back at all. And could we see Drew McIntyre become a member of the Brawling Brutes, an honorary member?
That would be interesting, man. I could see Drew and Sheamus as a tag team just fight forever. The Brawling Brutes, put them on their own. But yeah, it's just phenomenal. What a main event. Not just storytelling, man, but from action. It just showed. And Drew McIntyre, man, and Sheamus, they could just go and go and go. So can't the Usos. So can't they? And that's why they are still the longest reigning undisputed WWE tag team champions.
Yeah, man, for sure. That was an excellent match to end off the show. You know what? What a way to kick off 2023. Both Raw and SmackDown certainly delivered. Let us know what you guys thought of both this week's shows. Always like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you Tuesday with a Monday Night Raw recap. Until then, peace out.
Peace.